been such a blessing to our team here and to this ministry. And right from I joined the ministry September 2015, and just remember one of the first meetings, just Morris and Myrna just encouraged me from the kickoff, really, and continue to do so, as Valerie and Pat and so many of the team. But Myrna, I want to quickly get out of the way and allow you to share the story of Aoife. Some people are a wee bit familiar about this your niece Aoife, but we'd love just to hear, rather than us tell it, there's something about you as the closest person to this journey.
Yes.
If you would share a wee bit about Aoife's journey, I think, yeah, I'll let you share. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy if you ask me questions as well.
We might do that, and Valerie and Pat can chip in there as well. But
I actually made a video earlier today, and it was too long to be sent over the airwaves, so there's a bit of panic. So, however,
the Lord wanted you live tonight.
If this ends up being disjointed, that's the reason why. So anyway, thank you very much for asking me, and it's a real pleasure and a privilege, such a privilege to be along on this platform with the three of you. You know, the big seniors, the big noises.
No.
You don't change. You don't change.
No, not at all. Well, it was one Monday night way back last January, and I was just sitting here minding my own business. People were texting in, and Fergus was encouraging everybody to text in, and others were. You could see the replies coming up where they were praying for answering the requests and everything else. It was just amazing. And this wee voice in the back of my head said, "You could do that." So I thought, Aoife, right. So Aoife is my great niece, and at that stage she was 10 years of age. She was born with a growth in her face, and it would sort of be around here on the right hand side, very close to where your jaw is hinged, and it has been growing. I think it showed up when she was maybe around between 1 and 2 years of age. Had that been discovered in her scans before she was born, her mum, my niece, would have been offered a termination. Now, not that she would have taken it, but that's how this condition is perceived. It's, I think, the layman's term and how I would explain it would be it's elephantitis. So the thing would continue to grow, and then it causes her jaw to distort. And if she gets a cold or hay fever or anything like that, then she has this intense pain. So it came to a head a couple of years ago when she had been off school with such pain that nothing seemed to be able to deal with the pain. So she would go to school and have to come home within an hour. And in desperation, her mum phoned me to get my nephew in a different branch of the family. He's a surgeon, a director of surgery in America, and he's a professor and all that. He's sort of quite high flying. So he has his fingers in all the right pies and has all the connections. So anyway, to cut a long story short, he was able to reassure that something could be done, but nobody in England, really, where Aoife lives, nobody wants to be involved in that. It's too near muscles, nerve endings, and she could have been ended up with paralysis or numbness or anything. I'm not medical in the least and don't want to be, but it was really big and serious. So it was just shortly after that then that I got this little prompting, you could do that. So there's me sitting in my settee quite comfortably, the same settee I'm in now, and I just texted and said, Aoife's got this growth, and it is, it does change her life, and it could be life-threatening over time. And I mean, it's bad enough whenever you've got a spot in your nose, but when you've got a lump growing out of your face and you're at that stage and moving schools and things like that, that's very, very, very difficult. So anyway, Pat was all set to pray, and Valerie said, "No, I think I'll take this one." And she said, "I do not like children being sick." And she then started this prayer, an amazing prayer, in the court of heaven. And for once, I had the wit to tape it. So I recorded it. And it was all really, that was really fantastic. And Pat prayed. And, there's just such a wonderful support came from the network of people. Just sitting here every Monday night. So that was fine. And then about Wednesday tea time, I thought, maybe I should phone my niece and say, I've done this, just in case, and I hope she's all right with it. And she said she knew nothing about it and would get back to me, but Aoife was in bed. So I got the phone call the next night to say there is no sign of the growth. It's gone. Wow. Absolutely gone. Wow. Her face is soft where it had been hard before. And because my niece, her mum, is in the caring profession, she's a carer, she had a thing for looking down ears and throats and things. So she said her ear was gunky, and we prayed over that, and that then lifted in a couple of days. And since that, Aoife has been entirely a different lady, a different girl, because she can now show her both sides of her face. I noticed that the photographs we were getting was showing her left side, or it was showing her right side, not just her left side. So that had made a big difference. My part was so simple, and anybody could do it. So when you get a prompting, you should really go ahead.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I've been using the Bible app on the iPad, and I came across this series by C.S. Lewis. And at one point, the headline was "Child or Chisel." So this was really interesting. And he said that God uses whoever he likes, and you can either respond as his child. So you can be in step with him and obedient to what you hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or you can be a Nebuchadnezzar. You get used anyway, but you're only a tool, hence the chisel. So
amazing.
I'm claiming the child end of it.
Amen.
All I can do is say I have had such blessing from it, because I can now say to anybody without fear of embarrassment, without nerves, without anything, I can say, well, my great niece has been healed in her bed, knew nothing about it. None of the family knew anything about it. And it was 3 days later before it was confirmed. It's gone. And of course, we're all just waiting for that letter to drop through the door, inviting her to go back for her consultation, which is already about 9 months overdue, so that the specialist can actually confirm the healing, in medical terms. So it's really been very exciting. I just cannot get over. Think about it. You go to bed, innocently you go to sleep, and you've got this medical condition, and you wake up in the morning, and God has actually been in your room, has come over and laid his hand on your face, God. And you're healed. Totally, immediately, and absolutely. The branches of my family are the lot over in America and Canada. They are all very deeply committed Christians. The others in England, not really walking with the Lord at all, and some of them trying to run away as fast as they can, it seems to me. But that's they are at least still in some sort of a spiritual state. And here in the middle of their family, they have a child with something that they have known about for a long time, their niece. And they can't argue with the fact that she is healed.
Amen.
So who did it?
Yeah.
And whoever anybody else is following, could their idol, their small god, do anything of the same as has happened for Aoife? And even in the American end, my nephew, he is a very, as I say, he's a surgeon and a very deeply committed Christian. But he said to me donkeys years ago, I don't believe in healing. And I pray before I operate. And I know, ask God to help me and that he'll bring the healing and do everything. So this has been a bit of a stiff one for him as well. Steep learning curve, especially as he was brought in. So it has been really fantastic from that point of view.
Mighty God.
Yeah. And God gets all the glory, but I'm telling you, see the warm feelings. And when I stop to think about that, God tiptoeing into your bedroom, and you don't know anything about it, you've missed it. But she didn't miss her healing, and it will come. Fergus keeps saying God's hand is on Aoife, and I agree with that. It's very
amen.
Good calling and a calling within the family. So I am delighted. I just want to thank everybody who has ever joined in the prayers for Aoife, which come up practically
absolutely.
Thank you for your part, even just saying amen.
Amen. Yes.
And I agree. Oh, yes. No, because I would be doing that all the time. That's all part of it. That's what I do for your prayers, to get the healing for your people as well. And God gets the glory and we get the blessing.
Amen. Beautiful. Amen. Myrna, you shared up beautifully.
Praise God.
Wow.
Great.
Amen.